I'm muted. I was muted. Hi guys, how are we doing today? Have we had a good day so far? I've already fixed it. How is everyone doing today? I'm bringing out my second coffee. Second coffee has been achieved. Hello guys. Hello, hello. This is today's dress. Yeah, it's super one of my favorites. It is new, but I got the new color. But yeah, guys, hello, hello, hello. Today we're doing top 32 of this tournament. I am so excited for us to go over some of these different matchups. I think some of you are being a little dense in the Discord about stuff, but you know, it happens. So yeah, we will be doing top 32 in about 15 minutes. So let's see here. Hi guys. Yeah, dress arrived during stream yesterday. Hi Louise, hi Stellar, hi Sean, hi McKenna, hi Crazy Kid, hi Fabry, hi Port, hi Love Pop, hi Young Mung, hi Ruin, hi Fox Cave, hi Xander, hi Sean, hi I said Ruin, right? Yeah, I said Ruin. Hi Georgia, hi Cult Leader. You're rooting for Obama. I support it. I want the. I think I would like the baby Articuno to win. I think it'd be cool. So let's see how this goes. But yeah. How is everyone doing today? Are you guys having a good day? I'm really excited to do top 32. We did a 12-hour stream yesterday, which was kind of insane. But I had a lot of fun. We did all 9 rounds, and we will be, you know, doing top 32 today. We did the Japanese tournament yesterday. It was so much fun, and I'm really excited to see how this continues to go. For those of you who don't know, by the way, for those who are YouTube members or Twitch subs, we do have a weekly hangout in the Discord. It is tonight, 7:30 p.m. It is roughly 6 hours and 40 minutes from now. Come hang out with us if you'd like. The tournament starts, or day 2 begins in about 10 minutes, Cursebox. Yeah, about 10 minutes. Aussie, we haven't even looked at who's against who, but yeah. Do you know when the Japanese tournament ended? No clue. I didn't look. We haven't even looked at who everyone's against. Obama is against Aussie Oomph. You got this. It'll be fine. Actually, your flat Charizard, who knows? Who knows, buddy? Who knows? Kind of crazy that there's only like 2-3 Pikachus in top 32. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I really like this dress. I got it in yesterday. So super exciting. I'm very excited. Who do you think will win? I have no clue. No clue at all. So we'll have to see. For those who don't know or who are hanging around, at least one person in every single match has to stream their games. So if you don't know how to yet, you have about 8 minutes to go figure out how to stream your game. So yeah, I think someone in the top 32 will win. That's pretty true, Aussie. I would agree with that. But make sure, guys, that those of you who are in top 32, that you know how to stream your games, because once we start the tournament, you know, that's not the time to figure it out. The time to figure it out is the last 16 hours. So you got 8 minutes. If you haven't figured it out yet, make sure you know how. Or you know, there could be some problems during this. Why you have to stream your game? Do you want like the super realistic answer, or the like semi-realistic? Like super realistic, we have a sponsor, so being able to, you know, stream every game is paramount to be able to maintain a sponsorship. we are broadcasting this tournament, so we need to be able to have something to broadcast. And it's only fair to make it be everyone doing it, especially since it was in the rules since you signed up. So yeah. Yeah. But yeah. I would recommend everyone to change your server name to your correct name so that you can be found. Because if I can't find you, we're gonna have a different problem. The caster Ursi skin is goated. Ooh, thank you, John. Thank you. Hi, John. Hi, Danny Tiger. You're gonna be hungry later, but it'll be fine. Top 32 and top 16 and top 8 play simultaneously, but top 4 does not. And I need to be able to jump in between games because, that's just a part of it. Yeah, guys. But yeah. Another John. John's just such a rare name. I too am surprised to have 2 Johns in my chat at one time. It's just such a rare name. Such a rare name. How could we have multiple Johns? So weird. So weird. Yeah. Yeah, the rarest name in the English language. Yeah, Will, John, Ursi, they're all very rare names in the English language. So it's really surprising when you see multiple people with them. Very surprising. No, I don't have a favorite twin. No favorite. Would love to see, some different decks win this week, but no favorite. Oh yeah, also really surprising to see multiple Bobs. One second, guys. I'm gonna put up another announcement so people know it starts in 5 minutes. It starts in 5 minutes. So. The new dress is fire! Thank you, Kronos. I appreciate it. Hi, Abby. Hi, Claudio. Welcome in, everyone. We're starting the top 32 in about 3 minutes. This is our top 32 over here. We have about 2 below and 1 above, but yeah. No. It's awesome seeing such a widespread success. Thank you, Titsy. Yay! I'm super excited about that, Stellar. Super excited. But yeah. Thank you, Claudio. Oh my gosh, you can't choose a cup over us. My god, what in the world? Yeah, very few Pikachus. Very few. Yeah, I got this dress in yesterday. It arrived yesterday. So. A Snorlax stream? What do you mean, Briley? You can just see it on the tournament website. What's the coffee flavor? It's always the same. White chocolate mocha. Yeah, good. Down with the cups. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, definitely a couple new faces. A couple new faces for sure. Oh, last night. Yeah. Makes sense. Well, Snorlax can dress up too sometimes. You know, some days we gotta be Snorlaxes, and some days we gotta be Meloetta. What is the beautiful Pokemon? I wore Snorlax onesie. I appreciate that, Dragon. Thank you. Yeah, I was wearing Snorlax jammies. No, there's a Pokemon that evolves from Phoebus. What is the Pokemon that evolves from Phoebus? Guys, is it Meloetta or Melodic? I don't know. Some days we gotta be Snorlax and some days we gotta be Melodic. That's just how it rolls, you know? That's just how it rolls. So, yeah. I'm very excited. I think they're both mythical. One time I searched for a Phoebus for 2 hours. It took me 2 hours. Dude, do you think it takes me 2 hours to find a legendary? No, I talk to someone and they give it to me. Like, when I talk to someone, they give me the legendaries, and I have to search for the Phoebus. It's so much harder to find Phoebus than it is in a world. That's a funny one. I like that. Oh. Okay, this was in Sun and Moon. Exactly. It's so much harder to find Phoebus. That's exactly my point. Thank you, rude boy. Okay. We are going to be starting our top 32 then, guys. Let me quickly announce it. Is now. Okay. The announcement is out. Let me just go make sure I haven't actually put it up yet. Oh, give it a second. Oh, I'm a bad kid. I forgot to do the thing on the website. The thing on the website's gonna happen. One second. I forgot to. I'm doing it. 1 second. Okay. Let me quickly bring up our standings then, guys, because now we can look at it from a bracket position and you can see all the different matchups. I'm trying to figure out, I'm quickly popping up our tournament though. Okay. Okay. Oops, Daisy. It isn't really the thing. you guys like to see from this fun setup, though? Do you guys have any opinion on what round we watch? Let's see. I don't think there's check-in for top 32. There's not check-in for top 32. Let's see that. I kind of want to watch Deftwolf and Fatdunk, if I'm being honest. I think it's going to be an interesting matchup. We didn't get to watch them last week. So hopefully, we'll be able to find them really quick. One second. Let's see. I'm trying to find where they're streaming for this game. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Let me bring us up a game to watch, guys. Okay, guys, we're gonna try to watch the Greninja Mewtwo player, and I believe they're against Charizard, but let me double check on that. We're gonna go in and hop into this game so that we can watch. Please. Hopefully they will be taking that off the screen here. So give me one moment. Fingers crossed. They'll be taking that off the screen. Let's see. Okay, I guess we can't watch this one. I'll find us a different one. Let's see, who else can we watch? Let's pop back to the meta breakdown so we can find a different matchup. No, I mean, it was by the player, but should not be there during the stream. Let me find a different one, guys. That'll be interesting to watch. Let's see if I can get Aussie Oomph real quick. Oh, my bad. I didn't realize it wasn't transitioning over. Let's see. And then let me get up both their names real quick. We're gonna watch Obama versus okay. Let me bring that up now, guys. We are gonna be watching the Fire deck versus the Articuno Starmie with that baby Articuno on the bench. They are both fully set up right now. We already have a Charizard beginning to swing into Abomina's Pokemon. That's gonna be the first 2 points in their game one. That's a good position for Aussie to be in right now. Let's see. This baby Articuno is a really interesting tech to me. This Articuno is able to paralyze your opponent's Pokemon, but without a Misty, Abomina's is not going to have enough energies to be able to use that attack. We do see a Sabrina come down, potentially trying to stall out a turn since all of the Pokemon on Aussie's bench are actually 2-point attackers here. Not 2-point, two cost retreaters. The Arcanine does get promoted, and it does look like we may have some issues retreating just yet. Aussie's going to potentially have to attach for energy and have to wait till next turn unless they have those X speeds in their hand. It looks like we're going to see a similar Sabrina come down now on the side of Aussie Oomph as he tries to get through this stall. Frogadier does get promoted in return, but he is only 1 cost to retreat, but that could delay that paralyze that Obama is going to want to be able to play. That energy is going to attach to Frogadier now, and he does evolve to a Greninja. He can retreat, but we actually could begin to see some of these bench snipes that is Greninja's ability. And this does look like we're not going to be seeing any type of attack from the Greninja. And with this X speed though, Aussie is going to be able to close out game 1 and retreat, as well as hand attach and power up that Charizard to do another 200 damage attack. That topped out X speed was exactly what Aussie needed to close out this game. Let's cover up their screen while they go in and set up for that next game now, guys, and then we'll get into that next match. They're going to go in and search for that game again. Super interesting to see more of these Articuno Starmie decks begin to appear now that Pikachu isn't doing as well in the meta. So let's get set up into game 2. Aussie is going to want to find that Charizard again, find that Charmeleon, and get set up before Abomasnow has the ability to do so. With that Articuno, Abomasnow never needs to evolve his Pokemon. Instead, only needs energies to get set up. That being said, his second attacker, Starmie, who does do more damage, does need 1 evolution, but it still is able to evade that 2 evolution line into a stage 2. Oh my god, and Misty's head starts rolling. That's gonna be 8 energy attached, and Abomasnow's gonna take game 2 without any type of sweat. Aussie doesn't even get to play his turn when that knockout comes down. Paralyze does not matter here, and we'll be going into game 3 now. Let them get set up again. Because with Pokemon, once you have no basics on the board, you are not able to continue the match. So we are going to have to let them finish setting up for game 3 now. It is Abomasnow and Aussie 1-1 in this best of 3. Okay. We are going to hit Tells this time. That's going to have our fire player going second again. That does mean potentially, I mean, with the Moltres in the active, we shouldn't have as many a problem. But we'll have to see how this goes down. Abomasnow is getting set up as well. Both are getting their boards prepared for turn 1 now. And we'll have to see how the game goes about. Both of these players seem to have a pretty good setup. Abomasnow is going to go first here as we play. That's going to be... I mean, he does end up researching, so there is no Misty this turn. This baby Articuno in the active is pretty defensive, but honestly, Aussie is just going to start is going to probably attach to that Moltres and use Inferno Dance to start powering up his Pokemon on the bench. He does get a second Charmander that could be used to protect against a Sabrina, so we'll have to see what he ends up doing. He does end up playing that second Charmander. So we'll have to see how it goes from here. Starmie does come down this turn from Obamna with this Misty now, we're going to see more energies attach that Articuno on the bench. And we are going to see a retreat back to that Ice Bird. Articuno EX is going to do 80 damage this turn. So Aussie is definitely going to be on a bit of a clock here. He needs to be able to get his Charmeleon and Charizard almost basically perfectly on curve if he wants to survive. And he's going to need to hit these Inferno Dances as well. One Charmeleon does come down now. That is going to be used to start building into that Charizard EX. And we're going to see a research as we dig for that Charizard. We essentially... we don't have a Charizard just yet, but we will have to see how it goes. We're going to Inferno Dance again, but Aussie is going to want upwards of 4 energies, or 3 energies, so 3 heads this turn if he wants any chance to be able to power up that Charizard. Two energies is enough to be able to do one attack fully powered up. So this could bode well. Depending what Aussie has in hand, we could see upwards of either from 1 to 3 different cards next turn, potentially 4 if he has a Pokeball to thin. But we'll have to see how this goes. Let's see. There's going to be a Pokeball inside of Obamna now. That's going to be a Starmie that he has in his hand. Not Starmie. Froakie that he has in his hand as he starts getting it going. This is an Articuno Ninja. I don't know why I said Starmie earlier. Obamna is going to take 2 points with that knockout here. Sabrina could spell game, though, for Obamna, giving him a 2-1 win. This Moltres is going to help protect, though, from this from a Sabrina that would otherwise one-hit KO this baby Charmander. We are digging. Oh, but we don't hit the Charizard just yet. Potentially, we could see a retreat back to this Moltres to try to stall an extra turn. But this is definitely a risky play, and a Sabrina would still spell the knockout onto Aussie here. We do see the retreat back now, where we're going to be attaching to that Moltres, which is going to be able to Inferno Dance again. But if Obamna has that Sabrina, this could be spelling the end. We have one energy being attached back onto these Charmeleons. That is enough, per se, to fix that energy he had to lose by retreating. But Charizard needs to appear this next turn, or it could be game over. That being said, we kind of need an X-Speed and a Charizard, so this is going to be a bit of a problem. This is going to be game for Obamna. That's going to be his third point, and that'll be putting Obama into top 16, officially within range of that payout that we talked about. We are doing top 16 prize pool. I'm going to swap us into our next match, guys. Give me one moment here. They are currently 0-0. I'm not really sure which game they're on. So are going to try to go back to this game now. Watch Fatdunk and Deftwolf. It is a Charizard and Scorch deck versus the Greninja and Mewtwo EX. We're going to see a flip for those energies on the bench again with the Inferno Dance. And that's going to be another energy attached to the Scorch now. He's kind of still doing damage into Deftwolf's Moltres. We don't have an exact answer of how it's going to turn out. Greninja does finally come into play here. So let's see. Okay. With no damage onto that Moltres, we'll see another attach now onto that Moltres and another Inferno Dance to try to power up his bench. One energy that gets powered back to the bench now. Scorch doesn't need too many energies to be powered up, so 4 is enough. He only discards 1 energy when he attacks. So we can start powering up potentially that Charmeleon, even though we don't have a Charizard just yet in the future. That Mewtwo EX could be a bit of a problem for Deftwolf. Swords cannot deal with that psychic attacker there. But Fatdunk will need to find the psychic energies to get him up and going if he wants to be able to attack with them. Hit 2? 2 coin flips. That's going to be 60 damage into that Moltres now. Beginning to put that Moltres on a little bit of a timer, but that Scorch is already ready to go, so that timer shouldn't be a huge problem for Deftwolf just yet. We're going to see that evolution into the Charizard finally. We do have 0 energies on the on Zard just yet, but we'll have to see how this plays out. I assume we're going to start wanting to attach to the Charizard to help protect against that Mewtwo EX. But Moltres is also in range to be able to start attacking himself. Deftwolf needs to decide where to put this energy. It does look like we might see a hand attach here onto that Charizard EX. We're going to see another Infernal Dance then back onto this big Fire Dragon. Those two heads do equate to 2 energies to be attached to that Charizard. We're going to start seeing that Charizard being able to attack very, very soon. Okay. That's going to be another Water Shuriken, this time onto the Moltres, putting him in range actually of being knocked out by this Kangaskhan attack if he's able to hit two heads on these coin flips. We have one. Oh, and a second heads is going to give 2 points to Fatdunk in game 3 of this match. That's going to be 2 points now for Fatdunk. He's going to... Deftwolf does promote his Charizard here. He should be able to start hitting for 200, but how long will he be able to hit that way? Because it's not going to last. This Charizard attack may be a little bit problematic. Only 4 energies means that Charizard would be a little bit of a sitting duck if he does do his 200 attack this turn and leaves the Charizard in the active. That being said, who would be able to knock him out this turn? And I don't really see anyone just yet. But that being said, being willing to put damage on to Charizard does get him closer to range of being able to start getting those, getting shurikened on the bench. It does look like we are going to attach now. That's going to mean a 200 damage attack is about to go into this Kangaskhan, but will that be enough to get him, you know, to still win for Deftwolf? That is going to be a knockout onto that Kangaskhan, but with only 2 energies on the Charizard now. What is the correct move? Greninja does get promoted. That's going to be 80 damage with type advantage and 100 with that Water Shuriken. An energy does get attached to Mewtwo now, but will that be enough? I don't think Mewtwo's going to come on board nearly in time for Charizard to get that KO. That is 1 point though for Deftwolf knocking out that Kangaskhan. So let's see here. Fatdunk is trying to decide exactly what the plan is. He does end up putting that 80 damage into his opponent here. Did he use his Water Shuriken? I thought we were at 150. But I obviously was wrong. But we could see a retreat back to the Centiskorch, and that could be a KO though on to Greninja, taking a 2nd point for Deftwolf. We do see that retreat now. Oh, he did water. Okay. Maybe. That Mewtwo can do 50 damage, but it's just not in range of being able to knock out anything. The Kangaskhan potentially does 60, but where does that leave Fatdunk? Mewtwo does get promoted now. He does have 1 Psychic Energy, meaning he can do 50, but he's not going to be doing 150 any time soon. Sabrina could help, but this red card comes down. It's going to return that all those cards back into Deftwolf's deck and allow him to draw 3 cards. We do see a Giovanni being played, but if we don't retreat, which we can't now, it's only going to be 60 damage into that Centiskorch. Centiskorch can only do 120 back, but we'll have to see how it plays out. Sabrina is going to take game now for Deftwolf, and that'll be 0.3, bringing him into the top 16. Okay. Let me see if we can get another game up, guys. So one moment here. Let's see if I can find us a game. Let me jump in on the Matu, perhaps. We can see if that game is still going. Let's see. Oh. We'll see if we can get this one up in time. 1 second, guys. Okay. We are going to be watching Null versus Lamatu. That is a Charizard versus Charizard, a Canine versus Mewtwo here. And they are both pretty set up, if I do say so myself. So let's see. We are going to be seeing that Charizard potentially attack into this Gardevoir, meaning Lenol will not be able to get those last 2 energies that he'll need to be able to do a 150 attack back. That being said, it won't be enough either way to knock out a Charizard if we don't see a Sabrina come down. That's going to be the second point that Lamatu takes here. Oh. So I have Mewtwo is promoted. Charizard should be able to one-hit KO here. A defensive Sabrina could help Mewtwo potentially, but I'm not sure if we're going to be seeing a different attack here that'll end up bringing game for Null. There's going to be a third energy attached onto this Mewtwo now. He is only going to do 50, and Lamatu will be able to attach and attack. That's going to be a game 2, though, for a game 3 for Matu. That's going to be 2-0, and he's going to be able to finish out his top 32 match. Let me try to find us another game really quick, guys. 1 second. Okay. Okay, let me... Okay, we have another match this round, guys. Please quickly bring it up. You're going to be watching Patrick PTCGP versus Vinnie Ramos. So let me get it up, guys. It is one of our Pikachu players versus that Mewtwo EX. They are 0-0 right now, just starting their game 3. So let me just really quick check the list. It is a baby Mewtwo list for Patrick PTCGP here. So this could be a bit of a rough game for Vinnie. Vinnie is trying to get set up. He only has one extra basic on that bench. He is, however, going to want to start filling out his bench, start getting other basics that he needs and wants to be able to start attacking to this Mewtwo with maximum damage. We see that baby Mewtwo come down for Patrick now, which is exactly what he wants in the case that he doesn't run into his Gardevoir. Vinnie's going to be looking for those Pikachu EXs. He does find an evolution for that baby Pikachu. And he's going to want to start finding all those basics that he needs and wants to be able to start attaching energy to and getting prepped to be able to attack. Looks like we're having a bit of a decision here on what we should be doing and how we should be playing this difficult game. Without a full bench, if Pikachu's not going to do maximum damage, and he wants a lot of options, especially with this Raichu, he's definitely going to want to be able to find 3 energy to put on it, and potentially a Giovanni to be able to get that Raichu damage up to 150, which will be able to one-hit KO that Mewtwo EX in the active. that Sabrina is going to be pulling the Raichu up into the active spot now. That means that Mewtwo can do 50 damage, but that's going to be all. Not enough to KO, but it does set up for a 2-hit KO that could be following up this turn before this Raichu has any ability to respond. Vinnie is trying to decide exactly what to do here. We see an X speed come down, and that's going to help him retreat back to the Zapdos spot without that bench spot, without sacrificing any energy that he's going to want to be able to start building up to attack that Mewtwo X. Zapdos is in the active now. And we do get a second energy attach onto that Raichu. 1 energy short and a Giovanni from knocking out that Mewtwo EX. A research does come down on Patrick's side. He's really digging for that Kirlia. He's digging for that Gardevoir. He wants to be able to to power up that Mewtwo to be able to sweep the board and take out all of the Pokemon on Vinnie's bench. And he definitely needs it to be able to keep up that 150 attack every turn. A second Mewtwo does come down now. We could potentially see a retreat, but I'm not sure if we'll see it just yet. We're going to need another X speed as well from Vinnie if we want all these pieces to come together. A red card does get played now, and that's going to put many of these cards back into Vinnie's deck. 2 Giovannis. It was a Sabrina and some other cards that were going to be really needed to get a KO this turn. Mewtwo does attach, but he'll only be able to do 50 this turn with not being able to even evolve to a Kirlia just yet. This is game 3 for them, guys. So whoever wins this match will be moving to top 16, which will put them in range of the prize pool. The Pokeball does come down now. Another basic in hand for Vinnie, but we're going to have to see how he decides to play out this game. One second. Guys, give us a second. Give us a second real quick. Wait. Okay, everything good, everything good. Everything good. I have a little bit of panic. But yeah, I think it's really interesting to see a baby Zapdos here. It's going to be super interesting to see how it goes. So 1 second here. As they're still 0-0 right now. This baby Pikachu, not Pikachu, this baby Zapdos is a little bit interesting of a matchup play here. So let's see here. This feels a bit hopeless for the Pikachu now that we've been able to retreat back to that baby Mewtwo and begin to set up on the bench safely without having to worry about any damage. This Raichu on the bench is basically set up if we can find a Giovanni to deal damage, but with how Vinnie has built up his bench, there's not even a Pikachu EX to start putting pressure onto this baby Mewtwo. So, let's see here. Pikachu's just trying to decide what to do here. His board is getting pretty set up, but it seems like a bit of a problem for how Vinnie wants to play this game. Potentially, we will see a third energy here attached to the Zapdos EX. But we are going to go on and pass. We could potentially see a retreat next turn back into the Zapdos. But are we going to risk that coin flip to try and knock out this baby Mewtwo? Gardevoir does finally appear for Patrick as well. That means Gardevoir can start putting that pressure out even onto Vinnie in return now with energy attached to this baby Mewtwo that could knock out that baby Zapdos on the active spot. Let's see. Oof. Vinnie's, we're gonna see a retreat back with this baby Mewtwo, it looks like, potentially to see a KO? I'm a little confused about this XP retreat here. It feels like we could be doing like a 2-turn pressure with that baby Mewtwo and force Vinnie to do something early. Instead, we're going to do 150 with the Zapdos by Patrick and begin to make a bet that no, Raichu can't do it. Because that Mewtwo on the bench is not ready to hit for 150 next turn. Sabrina is going to come down now. It looks like we're going to force a 2-point or that assured knockout from Vinnie. It looks like we're having some troubles figuring out who to promote forward. In the last second, we choose that Zapdos EX, but did he get it in time? It looks like he didn't. And it seems like we're having a bit of technical difficulty. It did come in through at time, and that Zapdos does get promoted. That side drive comes down, knocking out that Zapdos EX, taking the first 2 points for Patrick. If Vinnie is able to get that Giovanni, though, we could see an immediate KO back into this Mewtwo. That being said, even that Mewtwo on the bench is able to do 50 damage, meaning this Raichu probably won't survive next turn, and that'll be a game 3 for Patrick, which will put him into top 16. Instead, it looks like we're going to see a retreat back to the Zapdos on the bench and do a bit of a bet here to see if we can hit those 3 heads. Looks like yeah, it seems like his game is a bit glitched now, which is going to probably just spell an end here. Zapdos does get promoted, but he will not be able to attack in time. That's going to be a KO onto that Zapdos EX now, which is going to be the last point that Patrick needs for the win. We're going to be going into that next match now. Let's see. Let me go on and get that announcement out, guys, for that top 16. I'm gonna show off the standings for a second, so you can see how that top 16 is looking. These are our matchups for top 16 now. So I'm gonna go on and okay. Okay, guys, I'm gonna give them a second to start getting set up, and let's figure out for a second exactly what decks we want to go try to find. Matt Lou is gonna be against a Pikachu EX deck. There is that Obama playing with the Articuno EX and Greninja. We have Mewtwo playing against Pikachu, Mewtwo playing against Pikachu, and we'll also potentially have a Starmie Greninja deck playing into a Mewtwo Gardevoir. So let me go on and find us some games here. Okay. We're going to be watching Ekmati versus Obama so that we can watch some more of those Articuno Greninja games. Let me reset those points, guys, and we'll get right on into it. Oh, this one's Starmie. No, that's the other one. Okay. And we're into top 16 now as we get into it. So they are going to be setting up here. We are watching that Articuno Greninja versus the Starmie Articuno. I think it's going to be a really interesting matchup here. So let's see how this ends up going. But we are immediately going to see a Misty's with 3 heads on the side of Ekmati that can only be about 20 damage, but we'll start, you know, chipping away at that Articuno EX that Obamna has in the active. Another Misty comes down on Obamna's side now, but this time that damage can do upwards of 40. That's going to be 40 damage into this Starmie/Star-U. That 40 damage is going to put the Starmie in range of a 90 damage attack or a Giovanni Articuno attack if the evolution comes down in time. The evolution does come down in time. He's at 90 health. He will want to find a potion, which he does. And that's going to put him in range of being safe for the next turn. But for now, we're going to see 90 more damage to this Articuno. Both Ekmati and Obamna need to find another Pokemon for their bench if they want any chance of surviving to the next round. Let's see. We do get a second basic for Obamna. It's a Feroki on the bench now, potentially threatening 20 each turn in about 2 turns. But for now, this Articuno could be knocked out very soon. That being said, if Obamna has a Frogadier, Ekmati is going to go on to need to find another basic, because Frogadier can do 30 with only 1 energy. It looks like there's no basics on the bench yet, but this is going to be the first 2 points that Ekmati takes. Will we find a Frogadier in time for Obamna? That's the big question. Frogadier does 30 for 1 energy and would be a KO into the Starmie. Oh, Frogadier does come down now, and that's going to be game 1 for Obamna. Let them get set up into that next match. We'll let you see the victory screen. But that's going to be 2 points, and that's going to take game. So let's go and cover up the screen. Let them do that. I will go in and clear the scoreboard so that we are ready for that second match now. They are going on and getting set up now. We are going second as Obamna, which could be good or bad. And that Articuno is the start for Obamna here. Ekmati, what will you be starting? We're starting a Star-U again on Ekmati's side. The question is going to be if we see any Misties come down this turn. Pokeball from Ekmati is going to mean there's going to be a second Pokemon on the bench now. And that's going to protect against that no basics issue that Ekmati had last turn. Misty is going to come down now. I wouldn't be surprised if it's onto the Articuno, but no heads here, no energies to be attached. On Obamna's side, we'll have to see if a Misty will be returned. And instead, it looks like we're going to have a research here, which is going to draw 2 more cards for Obamna. Another Articuno does get put into hand from that Pokeball, and it will be played on to the bench. Energies attached to that Articuno in the active, taking advantage of a little bit of that energy advantage of going second here. A second Misty comes down for Ekmati now. Will this one be any different? 1 energy does attach onto that Articuno on the bench. That'll mean that Ekmati can do upwards of 40, well, only 40 damage this turn. and X speed does pull that Articuno into the active now. That means no Starmie is to be seen just yet, and the first damage has been dealt by Ekmati onto Abomination. It looks like Sabrina is going to pull that Staryu back to the active now. That 40 damage, as we mentioned last turn, does put the Staryu or Starmie in range of a 2-hit KO under the correct pretenses. And if he can't find that Starmie, it would also mean that splash damage could knock it out that following turn. Research comes down from Ekmati again. He doesn't want to have to attach that energy to Staryu and retreat for nothing. If he can find Starmie, that's exactly what he's going to want to do here, because Starmie's going to let him retreat for free. That second Articuno comes down, but the energy attached is actually to the Pokemon on the bench, and Obama is just going to be able to knock out this Staryu without any problem. A second Misty is coming down now onto that Articuno on the bench, trying to power up that additional attacker, but no heads to be found. Only tails from Misty this turn, and that's going to be no additional energy. That being said, Obama really doesn't get much from doing that splash damage this turn, so we may see the attachment to the benched Mon, and we do. This helps protect against any chance of being Sabrina'd out of an attack next turn, and that 40 damage is going to take 0.1 for Abomination in game 2. Red card comes down from Ekmati. That's going to put that large hand of Obama's back into his deck. We'll have to see how it comes down. We still haven't seen a single Froakie on the side of Obama just yet. $80 damage comes down now, leaving this Articuno at only 20 health. Perhaps we see a retreat back to that additional Articuno, but a Pokeball is going to come down first, and that's going to be a baby Articuno into Abomina's hand. It does look like we're going to have a Sabrina. Abomination, though, can put up that baby Articuno, and that'll protect him from having to sacrifice those 2 points. That being said, he's going to want to find his potion very soon. Without a potion next time, that Articuno on the bench would get knocked out. But this Articuno in the active now, the baby Articuno, will be safe in his attack, leaving him at 20 health. We'll have to see how this plays out. That being said, Ekmati is still in range of getting KO'd here, and Obama getting that win. A retreat on this Articuno would seal the deal. That X speed does come down, and that's going to be a free retreat for the baby Articuno back to that big damage Articuno on the bench. That's going to be the last 2 points that Obama needs to take game 2. This will be the last 2 points he needs for game 2. So let me find another match, guys. Quickly find us a second match. Why do this now? Okay. This is gonna be Frogder versus with that Mewtwo EX, and versus versus Zarwaya. So let's get that up and going to clear up the opponent's score here. We are currently, we are 1 and 1 point for Frogder. They currently are, Frogder does have game 1 here, but we'll have to see how this match plays out. It looks like we can do upwards of 150 damage this turn, and with that Gardevoir on the bench, we could even see another knockout next turn. That's going to be 0.2 for Frogder. That's going to potentially put him within range of winning this next round and taking that top 16. Okay, they go in and concede. Let me, I'm going to cover up while we find another game now. This time we're gonna watch THB versus Robs. They're currently, wait, what is happening? Oh. Can't see. Okay. The only match still going. I can get a different one, guys. Oh. They're already done as well. This is the only game. Okay. Okay, well, I guess we're just gonna watch it then. Confused what's happening here with how they're streaming their game, but we'll ask them to fix it in the future, guys. This is the last match that's still going, so give us 1 second. It's not even a stretch, it's the fact, the only thing you can see is his Mewtwo EX. A little confused by it. That being said, we are going to be I don't know how many points he has. So, um, Zapdos does look like he's starting to do some damage into this Mewtwo EX here. Okay, that's going to be another 20 damage. He did seem to retreat back into some baby Mewtwo. So, interesting to see. Let's see here. Okay. We are, it looks like, having that Mewtwo EX promoted back to the active. And be doing 150 damage to knock out that Zapdos. It does look like it's the last 2 points that THB needs to take game to okay. We're gonna find us our next. We're gonna be going into top 8 now, guys. Give us 1 second. Let me just bring up that bracket so we can. Wait, what? I thought they were finished. Okay, we do have one more top 16 then it appears. So give me 1 second to get that up, guys. My bad on that. Yeah, there is still a match going, so 1 second and then I'll get that up. My bad on that, guys. I thought for some reason all of them were complete. So 1 moment. Let me find this other match. Let's see. I'm gonna quickly find this last match, guys. Give me 1 second. Ah. Okay. Okay, we have a Twitch stream, it looks like, finally. So 1 second. Let me just bring up our last game of that top 16, and then we'll be going into a top 8, which I'm very excited for us to get to watch. Okay. It is. Currently 2-1. Pratic PTCGBT does have 2 points already versus Manu, who only, has 0. So we'll have to see how this last game plays out. Oh, they did get knockout at the last game. Let me just see real quick. Okay, that does seem like it was the last game here. And we will be getting into top 8 in 1 moment. Oh, nope. I guess they have a delay. So, okay. So let's watch the game and see how this goes. It is Patrick PTCGBP versus Manu. Okay, we're gonna be going second as the Charizard Arcanine player versus the Mewtwo EX Gardevoir. Perfect. So that Moltres EX is exactly what Manu wants to be starting with. That being said, for Patrick, well, he's excited probably to get that baby Mewtwo. It's not what you want for the beginning of this specific matchup. The baby Mewtwo doesn't put enough energy enough pressure into the Charizard deck to put it on a timer. So that being said, Manu's going to get extra time here to power up and create that Charmander, that Charmeleon, and finally that Charizard. We're going to have that Charmander again now. We do have Charmander and Growlithe, and it looks like... It does look like we're going to decide not to research this turn, almost as such that we're trying to bait not to get red carded. Sometimes something that players will do is they'll try to stop being red carded by not researching if they think they have enough of the pieces that they want. And in this case, we may potentially be seeing that since we did not research. We pass back to Patrick now, who's going to have to find a Mewtwo EX if he wants to really start putting pressure into Manu's deck. Manu did go on and power up that Charmander, so we'll see how that continues to play out. We do have that Mewtwo EX finally appear for Patrick as we are seeing these games here. That energy attachment to that Mewtwo EX on the bench, and it looks like potentially no Kirlia just yet. That being said, while that Mewtwo EX is safe on that bench, not going to put in enough energy to really be forcing this Charmander, that Charmeleon, and that Charizard to be on any sort of timer. I am slightly confused if he's not researching why we didn't see that energy go onto the Articuno. He had the Articuno, the Arcanine. My assumption was that he was going to put those energies onto that Arcanine since he was not researching, but instead those energies still got put on to that Charmander here, and we're going to see exactly what Manu decides to do with this second Infernal Dance. The coin flip comes down now. Another energy, 2 energies to attach back potentially onto that Arcanine. This time they are attached to that Fire Dog, and we could potentially see a knockout of this baby Mewtwo as early as next turn. Patrick is really going to need to find that Kirlia this turn if he wants any chance of surviving. He is definitely on a clock. He'll only be at 2 energies this turn. Manu could knock out that baby Mewtwo next turn. And then that final Mewtwo EX would be able to swing into that Arcanine potentially. Yeah. Wait, no. Yeah. Yeah, no, he would not have had time to. And then you can see it's potentially like a follow-up KO. Still looking for those Charmeleons here on Manu's side. Are going to see here that second attack of Moltres that's going to put 70 damage into this baby Mewtwo. We pass back to Manu now, who finally finds potentially that Charmeleon that he's gonna want to put evolve his Charmander into. My assumption here is that we're gonna see this Moltres attack into this baby Mewtwo, then force the knockout from that Mewtwo EX, and we can start seeing attacks from this Arcanine into that Mewtwo EX thereafter. But that Kirlia on the bench is going to put a little bit of a timer on that. That Kirlia, we can see a Gardevoir as early as next turn, which would mean that the Charizard, we would need a Charizard to be able to win this game. This is their game 3, guys, so we're going to want to see exactly what they decide to do here. Whoever wins this game will be going into the top 8. That's going to be the first point for Manu now. And it is going to be the turn that Patrick can start swinging for 150. We do finally see that Gardevoir, and we're going to officially need that Charizard, or we could be seeing a huge issue here. That red card does come down. I won't be surprised if we run exactly, yep, and we run into that Charizard, putting Manu into exactly what he needs. That being said, I do think that's the correct time to use it, but that's going to be a knockout onto that Mewtwo EX. Guys, as we're closing out this top 16 match here, please make sure it is a good red card. It was a good red card timing, but please make sure that you are checking out our sponsor. We're so appreciative to our sponsor XP Collect for being willing to set up, be willing to support our prize pool every single week, and we're so thankful that they're able to help us out. And that is going to be points 2 and 3 for Manu, securing him that win he needs to make it into the top 8. So we can go finally actually check out the top 8 now that I said that, and see how these matchups are looking. We are seeing a lot of Mewtwo EX and Gardevoirs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in our top 8. We're going to give him a second, and we're going to announce that next round. Okay. Um. Okay, guys, let me find us a top 8 match to watch. Let me find those games for us. Okay. One. I'm gonna quickly check out. Try to find us a matchup here, guys. My 1 second. We are gonna watch that Pikachu Electrode versus Mewtwo deck this round, guys. So give me 1 second to go in and get into that. So one moment while I get that set up. Are in top 8, and it's gonna be whoop, edge, Layla, Kumo will get swapped over. Okay, guys, let me quickly bring that up. And we are gonna hop into our first top 8 game now. Okay. We are getting really set up as this Pikachu and that Mewtwo EX. Pikachu's already set up to do 90 damage with a full bench and 2 energies onto this Pikachu. The Mewtwo EX is going to retreat back to the bench, promoting that baby Mewtwo as a tank. He can take 2 more hits while Ruthless tries to set up that Gardevoir. A third energy is attached to that Mewtwo, and Gardevoir comes down, which means this baby Mewtwo is doing exactly everything that Ruthless wants him to. A Sabrina could occur this turn, but at 0-0, we're doing okay this game. That energy does look like it could be attached to that Voltorb this turn, and we're going to see a Giovanni come down that's going to let that Voltorb do the exact amount of damage needed to knock out that Mewtwo. That with those 30 points, Wayla will have 1 point, taking the first point of the game. That Mewtwo EX is officially promoted, and Gardevoir will be able to attach more energy to that Mewtwo EX. That's going to be enough to make him do 150 damage to that Voltorb as we watch this game go. Sabrina could definitely be a bit detrimental for Ruthless here, but we still have a lot to see how it'll turn out. 150 does go down onto that Voltorb, and this Mewtwo still has enough energy on it to be able to do another 150 attack next turn. That means even if we do end up Serening and this Gardevoir gets put into the active, with a single X speed, this Mewtwo EX could still do enough to win the match. Let's see. That Pikachu does end up doing damage into this Gardevoir, but even if it ends up knocking it out, it's still we still have next turn for Ruthless to come back with those 2 points. He did take 1 point with that Elector last turn, so he's in a pretty good spot. This attack could take a point 2 for Wayla, but I think Ruthless might have that return KO of 2 points that'll secure him the win. That Professor's research does come down now. He's going to draw a couple more of those cards, and we're going to have to see exactly where this goes. But Pikachu's definitely trying to find some attacker that's not worth 2 points. So that, and that game 1 is going to go to Ruthless. I'm going to cover up while they set up their next match, guys. That was their first game. We'll go ahead and clear out that scoreboard as well. Okay, and we're going to go on and get that next game up here. Game 2 is beginning. We'll have to see how this goes. Oh. A Pikachu start for Voila again, which is exactly what he's going to want. He wants his bench full of Pokemon as best as he can get it. He wants to be able to do 90 damage every single turn before this Mewtwo EX can come back swinging for 150 damage. Second Mewtwo EX does come into play for Ruthless, and we'll have to see how it goes. That's going to be potentially more basics here for that Pikachu as he goes second with that that energy advantage of going second. We're going to pull some more basics in our hand from these Pokeballs and potentially fill up our bench. We do end up filling up that bench now, meaning that once this Pikachu is powered up, he'll be being able to do 90 damage every single turn. Research does draw more cards into our hands, and we go ahead and attach our first energy to that Pikachu. Next thing, we're going to start trying to find that Electorb that'll give us a free retreat switch Pokemon to play with. That second energy is attached to the Pikachu now. That's going to be 90 damage into this Mewtwo trying to defend in the front. There's still not a single Rocks down yet for Ruthless, meaning this could be a bit of a difficult matchup for our Mewtwo gamer here. That's a potion, but without a second potion, it's not going to be enough. That second potion does come down now, though. But with a Giovanni, Pikachu still has a chance to KO this turn. And that is going to be 100 damage now. And that's going to be that game, those 2 points that Waylon needed to really get ahead in this match. Looks like Ruthless is trying to find some way, but honestly, it doesn't look like it's going to have a chance this game. That second, I mean, we do see that Sabrina get put down. That second Pikachu half powered up does get promoted, but it too will be able to attack for 90 damage. Is already half powered up with 1 energy, meaning the second energy will be able to finish out that, or to put that first damage into this Mewtwo. And with no potion, the second Pikachu, as long as we have another basic, will be enough to KO. Actually, he doesn't even need to find that second basic, or third basic, we should say. 60 damage will be enough to spell the end for this Mewtwo. Okay, let me go on and cover up that screen again, guys. They're going to be going into game 3 now. I'm letting them go on and get everything set up for their third game. And they're going into game 3 now. We'll go in and clear that scoreboard for Voila so that they are 0-0, but it's currently 1-1 in this match. So Mewtwo is going first again. Mewtwo is going first again. The Pokeball does come down. He's looking for those Raltses. Honestly, he's probably even looking for his baby Mewtwo. He wants to find a way to start getting set up with this Mewtwo EX in the active. He's going to find as quickly as possible to get that baby Mewtwo into a tanking position so that that Mewtwo EX can start safely being set up on the bench. Research is going to come down now. We're going to see a couple more cards be drawn in that third basic officially there. That being said, without a second Pikachu, we have a bit of a problem for Vuela here if this Pikachu in the active can be knocked out. That first energy does get attached to Mewtwo now, and we are going to see one X-Speed. Will we see a second? A second X-Speed comes down, meaning that this Mewtwo will be able to retreat back into the baby Mewtwo. Still going to want to potentially find a Ralts to protect against any sort of Sabrina, but we'll see how that goes. That Sabrina does end up bringing that big Mewtwo into the active spot again. We really needed that Ralts to protect it, but it won't be enough for this turn. Research comes down from Ruthless. He's in a bad spot here as he tries to fight for his way into that top 4 spot. Let's see. That's going to be a retreat again, but that's going to sacrifice all of Mewtwo's energies this turn. And we'll have to see how this game goes. The energy attach is going onto the Zapdos for Vuela here. He's going to be doing a bit of a coin flip later if he wants to win with his Zapdos. It's a difficult mountain to climb for sure for Mewtwo. He doesn't have his Gardevoir. He doesn't even have a Ralts in play. And he's trying to hide behind this baby Mewtwo that can honestly will be knocked out in this following turn. Mewtwo needs 3-4 more turns to get fully set up. And he just doesn't have that time. He goes back to the Pikachu now. They will take at least 1 point this turn. And that's going to be the first point for Vuela in Game 3. This Pikachu player is very happy with what's going down. Max this Mewtwo is going to be able to do is only 50 damage, and he will not be able to do 150 any time soon. Ralts finally finds its way to the bench, but it's a little bit too late. It's a little bit too late. The potion does go onto that Mewtwo on the bench, but again, it's still in range of a Giovanni attack. That being said, that Ralts will protect it from an immediate Sabrina, and we'll be seeing probably 90 damage go into this Mewtwo in the active. This Ralts will not be a Gardevoir in time to be hitting 150 this turn, and we'll have to see exactly how it ends up going. Yeah, of course. You can't Sabrina and Geo same turn. Let's see. That does mean, however, there's no potions for the Mewtwo in the active, and we could see a KO as early as this turn unless they try to run away to that Ralts on the bench. But Kirlia does come down, still in range of KO if that is what gets put up for the Sabrina. And that Mewtwo EX gets promoted. Now all Pikachu needs is a Giovanni to be able to take advantage of this Mewtwo EX in the active. Let's see. Sabrina is going to come down now. This Kirlia and this Mewtwo are both in range of KO, and this Kirlia gets passed up to that Sabrina. That's going to be 0.2 for Voila, but this seems like a very dark moment for this Mewtwo player here. Looks like we may have a Pikachu in our top 4 this tournament. The red card is going to go down here, and Voila is going to have his entire hand put into his deck. No energies are attached just yet, but Voila's going to be looking for a Geo, which he's found, and is going to be able to do 100 damage to take his 3rd point that he needs and secure his spot in the top 4. You quickly check to see if the other game is still going, guys. One moment. Yeah, there wasn't an out. One second. Let me see if I can get into this next game for us quick enough, guys. Let me bring it up. I don't know if we're gonna get into this game in time. It is Miker versus Frogder here. They are 2-1 right now, quickly swapping over to their match. Frog does have 1 point, but Miker actually has 2. He also has a Gardevoir set up on his bench, ready to go. The second energy does get attached to the Jinx, but with no energy on that Kirlia, it will survive. He's going to need an X speed to retreat, but he's going to want to be able to find a Gardevoir EX to be able to deal with it. At third energy does attach, but does he have the Gardevoir? That's going to be the big moment here. And nope, Psychic Spear is all that could be done. Jinx can do, what, 90 here? But it won't be enough to be the win that Micro needs this turn. That being said, even a Sabrina will not be able to protect him. This Jinx can get knocked out very easily, and then that KO that he needs will be right in his sights that following turn. It seems like a bit of a problem here for Frogdeer. He's not in a good spot, and he is trying to fight for his top four spot. We do see that second point for Frog. But this is going to be 150 from Micro's side, and that's going to be all it takes to seal his spot in the top 4. Oh, okay, guys. That is going to be our last top 8 game. I'm going to let them put it in. And I will refresh this bracket. There we go. And you can see here, we have a very widespread top 4 today. A Pikachu EX, a Charizard Arcanine, an Articuno Greninja, and a Mewtwo EX Gardevoir. We're going to be doing our top 4 separately this week. So give us one moment to let Vuelo and Mano start so that we can watch this match. There's one Zard in top 4. Zard or Canine. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. For a second I thought I was showing everything. Like, oh my god, their password is gonna be out there, but it's not. Um, okay. Let me pull it over now. Okay. But you are going to have a Zapdos start here for Voila's deck. It is going to be that Charizard Arcanine versus Pikachu deck here. It's gonna be I think this deck is super interesting. This Charizard Arcanine tries to, attack both of the advantages or both of these top decks in the format, Pikachu and Mewtwo, by running both Charizard and the Arcanine. That being said, Manu needs to be able to find the cards that he wants to find if he wants to take advantage of that. He is still going to have to get that Moltres back into the active this turn if he wants to be able to Infernal Dance after this very sneaky and defensive Sabrina on the side of Voila. The Pika player does play red card, and he Sabrina that Charmander into the active on his game one, on turn one. We did see him able to retreat by Manu, but he wasn't able to do it with an X speed, which means he's very far back on that energy now. It really is the power of red card. One of the big things that people don't take into account for with red card is just the threat of it actually doing something. So an example, when Manu set up his board, he went on and played that Charmander when it would have been better for him to hold it in his hand. But Vela could have decided to red card and put that Charmander back into Manu's deck, so he went on and put it down during setup. He does go on to have that Charmeleon now. Yes, I know. We're saying that you had the threat of a red card, bud. We're saying you had the threat of a red card. You did Sabrina, though, and you're able to capitalize on having what put the threat down, which is what made that Charmander get played. We do see that Moltres finally able to Inferno Dance now. And we're going to see the 3 coin flip to try to decide how many energies are going to be attached back onto that Charmeleon. 1 energy does get put on the Charmeleon now. Voila still needs a couple more basics, and he's definitely looking for a Pikachu EX, which he does find. Oh, I might be looking at wrong deck. I'm looking at Manu's deck. Is Voila playing it? Yeah, he's also playing it. I don't know why I thought otherwise. No, Voila is playing red card. Voila is playing red card. So Voila is playing red card, and the Charmander was only there because of the threat of it. So. That Charmeleon gets his 2nd energy from hand attached this turn. And that Charizard finally comes into play. Voila is going to be out of time if this Moltres is able to get enough energies onto that Charizard. That 2nd Moltres, though, is a bit of a problem here and could be a little bit of a vulnerability for Manu. Only 1 energy comes down, though, and that's going to be a bad spot for Manu to be in. He needed at least 2 heads to be able to sweep the board from here. And instead, we're potentially going to see a Zap flip this turn. We are going to see that Zap flip, it looks like, for that coin. Zapdos can flip 4 heads or 4 coins, and for each heads he lands, he can get 50 extra damage. He's at 100. He does do 100 damage, and that's going to be enough to take his first 2 points into that Moltres. Charizard can attack this turn, though, and will be able to do so. There's only 3 energies on Vuela's bench, which means that once he knocks out the Zapdos, Vuela won't have any energy to attack with next turn. Max he's doing is that 20 damage peck, but even that that's just not going to be enough to really knock out this Charizard, meaning Charizard does have time to get his second attack set up, or if Vuela has a Sabrina to get around a stall of sorts. With no energy on the bench, Vuela is going to have to decide what to do next. There are 2 Sabrinas in Vuela's deck, so he's only used 1 thus far. And we will have to see how that plays out here. It does look like we're going to attach to the bench here for Vuela. Charizard will not be able to knock out the Electrode just yet, but he can start powering up his Charizard to knock it out in future turns. So that 60 damage is all he can do this turn with those 3 energies, but Manu is definitely going to want to find some X speeds so that he can prevent any sort of damage from a stall or keeping him from winning in this next turn. And that is going to be game 1 for Manu here. We're going to see, we're going to let them go on and get set up for game 2 now. Both players are running red card, so we'll have to see how this match out. Let's see. Okay, guys, they are going to go on and get ready in that match too. It is they are going to go on and have a Voltorb in the active and a Pikachu on the bench. Manu only has a Charmander, so we'll have to see how this goes. Vuela could potentially evolve next turn to an Electrode and retreat for free, but he has no energy to attach this turn when he's going first. Manu is going to want to find a Moltres and a way to retreat. A second Charmander does come down onto Manu's bench, but will he have that Fire Turkey? Energy on to that Charmander now. And that red card is going to put cards back into Vuela's deck. I'm not really sure about a first turn red card on Vuela when he doesn't have his bench full, but we are going to see some more basics finally make their way onto Vuela's bench now. This is definitely a hard position for Manu to come back from after that last turn. Still nothing of a Moltres to be seen just yet. Second energy does get attached to that Charmander on the bench here, and he doesn't even have that evolution to Charmeleon. That 90 damage will take 0.1 for Voila as he tries to reverse sweep Manu so he can find his way into the finals. Charmander gets promoted, but even a Charmeleon does get knocked out here. We're going to need to find a Moltres this turn if we want a chance to survive and an X. We don't even need X speed, but and a way to retreat. Pokeball does come down. He's hoping for that Moltres now, but will it be the Pokemon he wants? The 66% chance, but now it's assured with a second Pokeball. We're potentially going to want, honestly, 2 Moltres here to protect against this arena, but a Growlithe comes down, which will you know have a way to protect them, and and not now. I'm in top 4. Not now. I'm in top 4. Anyway, Valerie, please, not during my top 4 game. We are going to see a retreat back on that Charmander to that Moltres. The energy gets attached now to the Moltres, and we'll see an Inferno Dance back. We're still going to be wanting to find, however, a Charmeleon. And we really need to find that Charizard as well. We only have 2 turns to do it, and we'll have to see how this goes. 1 energy gets attached, and it goes to Growlithe. I'm wondering if there's an Arcanine in Manu's hand right now. Even then, though, we definitely have a problem. We won't be able to sweep like we want with only 1 energy on that Growlithe. We had a chance to come back, and I think we may have just lost it. Anyway, we do finally hit the Charmeleon. Arcanine does get played. We're going to need to find a way to retreat back to the Arcanine now to be able to oh, but a retreat back to the Moltres could be just as good. An X-Speed will come down, and we're going to see a second Moltres come into play. We're going to have to see exactly how many coin flips we can get to go heads if we want any chance of winning with this, against this Pikachu. We definitely want as many as possible here. We need 2 on that Arcanine to be able to retreat next turn unless we have a... Oh, but time is coming to a close. 1, 2 energy, but who does it go on to? There's not enough time. It goes onto the Arcanine, which is exactly what Manu wanted, in my opinion. In my opinion, that was exactly what Manu wanted. We're going to see a Sabrina come down, though. Voila only has 1 energy, or 1 point, meaning they could put up the Charmeleon and still be able to fight with that Arcanine. Is that this? No, that was the first Sabrina that Voila played. We'll be looking for a second Sabrina unless that second Sabrina is in Wayla's hand. But it does look like we are going to sacrifice the teenage Charizard here. And we're going to see a second energy attached to that Pikachu on the bench. 90 damage will take out Teenage Charizard, and we're going to see that Arcanine promoted here. That's a second point for Voila, but will Arcanine be able to sweep before a Sabrina appears? Even then, if we have it, that second Moltres, I think, is pretty healthy here still. What will Manu do? Manu can still take out the Pikachu no matter what. He can KO this Pikachu in one fell swoop. and go from there. A second energy is attached to that Moltres on the bench, meaning it'll be safe from a KO, safe from being stalled and stuck in the active in the future. But we're gonna see that Inferno Rush come down. That's gonna be 2 points for Manu now, which is gonna be enough to have if any knockout is gonna be enough from here. I don't believe we are running a Giovanni in this list, but any type of Sabrina on Manu's side will be enough to take the win here. Even then, the Zapdos is not going to put enough pressure out onto this Arcanine to really, you know, to put him in an iffy spot. That's me 20 damage onto that Arcanine now. A potion would put him in a very nice spot here. And we'll have to go from there. We do have a bit of a problem for that Arcanine, but it seems we're going to retreat back to the Moltres and be able to do 70 damage, which does set that Zapdos up for a potential KO in the future. Moltres is going to put 70 damage, start chipping away at that Zapdos. Will it be enough? I think that X-Speed might have been everything Manu needed. He only has to hand attach when onto his Arcanine next turn and could knock out the Zapdos. We could see a retreat back to this other Zapdos, which would be 40 damage to the Moltres, enough to put him in range of a KO from the Pikachu, but definitely an iffy spot to be in. And X-Speed is going to come down here, and we're going to retreat back to the other Zapdos. This means we will be able to poke away, do that fifth. We're going to attach to that damaged Zapdos on the bench instead, and it's trying to get set up to be able to do 3 heads on to that Arcanine or Moltres. Arcanine does get promoted now, though. Will Manu have the Sabrina he needs? And the Sabrina comes down. That's going to be a game 2 for Vuela here. Game 2 for Manu here. Meaning Manu just got his spot in the finals. That's going to be our first Arcanine Charizard deck in the finals of an Ursiiday tournament. It's going to be super interesting to see how it goes. Give me 1 second, guys, to get that next match. It was. No, don't say that. Did he like the parsley? Did he like the parsley? it's still a really fantastic placement, Boila. Nothing wrong with that. Very respectful placement. Very respectful placement. Okay. Let me get their names changed over and we can get into our match here. Potentially. It's going to be Obamnas versus Mikers. Let's see. Okay. We're going to go on into our next top 4 match here, guys. It is Obamna versus Mikers. It is that Articuno Greninja versus the Mewtwo EX. We are top 4. Mikers does go on and get that Mewtwo EX and a Ralt onto the board as well as the Jinx. He's probably going to want to retreat back to the Jinx as soon as possible to start tanking and stalling for that game, power up onto that Mewtwo. We are going to see some more Pokeballs come down as we start searching, but we did miss a Misty. Otel's Misty was what we saw here. We'll have to see how it continues to go. That first energy is attached to that baby Articuno. Ralt is currently in range of that next attack. Let's see. Obamna is going to be able to knock out this Ralts this turn with just that baby Articuno, but because of how long they've been able to stall, that Mewtwo EX is almost fully powered up for a 150 damage attack. So let's see. That is going to be 60 damage now onto that Ralt. That's going to be the first point for Abomination. The Paralyze does come down, but it doesn't mean anything when that Ralt immediately gets knocked out. That Mewtwo EX does get promoted now. He's going to try to take advantage of the fact that Abomination has no other energy set up on his board. But Micro still needs that Kirlia. He still needs that Gardevoir to be able to keep in the lead here. Baby Mewtwo does get played onto the bench, but we don't see any evolutions just yet. 150 into that Baby Articuno is going to score a point for Micro now. The Froakie gets promoted into his place, and we're going to have to see how this goes. We have 2 turns to knock out this Mewtwo EX, but we have a bit of a problem. The energy was attached to the Articuno immediately, and we see it going back to Micro where he's digging further into his deck for that Kirlia. He gets his first evolution. Will this just be the moment before the Gardevoir appears? That's going to be 50 damage onto that Froakie. A Frogadier does come into hand. We don't know if it's going to be enough. X speed will mean this Froakie can make his way back to the bench. And that second energy will get put on to the Articuno. Because Froakie's 60 energy, that Mewtwo EX is going to need to find a Giovanni, which means this red card is perfectly timed. It's supposed to break apart the fact that Micros has been stuck trying to find that Kirlia and more than likely has a Gardevoir already in hand, or that he has that Giovanni as well. That will help stall out, but that Gardevoir is still found. Just because you might return a Gardevoir back to the deck doesn't mean that it might not return back to your hand. And we'll have to see how this goes. A Serena does come down now, and I assume we're going to be passing back up that little Froakie on the bench, or Frogadier on the bench. And that's going to spell a loss for Abomination here. They're going to be going into their game 2 now after that match. They are into game 2 now. They'll be going on and matching up for the second game. Micros is in the lead for this series on our top 4 match. If Micros wins this game, he will be into the finals. This is Mewtwo EX versus Articuno EX with Greninja. This turn, Abomination is going second. And we're going to have to see exactly what that means for how this game plays out. Baby Mewtwo is in the active, which is exactly where Micros is going to want it. It'll help stall out while he tries to get his Mewtwo EX set up on the bench. Baby Jinx is on the bench as well now, and a research is going to come down while he looks for those different pieces. Mewtwo EX on the bench as well. No energies to attach with a turn 1 start. It is going to be a Misty, it looks like. And oh, a Heads! Oh, but only 1, which means only 40 damage. will be put into this Mewtwo baby here. And a Pokeball is going to come down. He's going to start looking for those other Mons to put onto his bench. We have the baby Articuno, but we have more Pokeballs as well. Froakie and that baby Articuno are officially on the bench now. That red card, a little bit early, but maybe it's exactly what Obama is going to need. That being said, I'm not really sure the exact goal of him red carding on that turn. My assumption is that he doesn't want him to get Raltzes, but Mikers didn't have Raltzes, and I'm not really sure the exact play. A Ralts does get found now, and it does get put onto the bench. We see a potion come down onto this Mewtwo, meaning it is out of range of a single attack. Of a one more hit KO, and that Articuno baby gets put into the active now. A second research does appear in hand, and we can go on and dig 2 more into their deck. We're going to retreat back to that big Articuno now, and going to see about 80 damage go into this baby Mewtwo. Froakie is on the bench now as well, but that does mean there won't be a spot for a second Articuno EX. That Kirlia did finally get evolved, and we are going to potentially see a Gardevoir as early as next turn. We're going to hit 80 damage now, making that Jinx knocked out. 0.1 for Obama, but Obama is really going to want to probably power up that Articuno that's on the bench if he wants any chance of stalling out by this Mewtwo EX that's now being put into the active spot. Mewtwo EX presumably is going to have a Gardevoir this turn with that reaction, and we are potentially going to be seeing 150 damage come down. Is that Gardevoir going to be played onto that bench now? That's the big question. If Gardevoir is here, this could be an end game. Nope, only 50 damage onto that Articuno EX. And that does mean that another 80 damage attack would be all that it takes to put that baby Mewtwo KO'd into the discard pile. Articuno EX does that 80 damage attack like we mentioned, and that's going to be potentially, could be game, assuming that we're able to find that Greninja on Obama's side. That is 0.2, and Greninja will seal the deal for Mikers since he did not find another energy. That'll be 2 points for the Mewtwo player, and that Greninja will be done. That's going to be game 2, guys, and they'll be going into a game 3. He did not need a Misty. He did not need a Misty. He already had an energy attached to Greninja. Or, sorry, Frogadier. I can see his hand, guys, I know. But I can't tell you guys that, you know? Okay, they're gonna go on into game 3 now. We're going to see that turn 1 Misty here. I'm going to get these points off the screen. But there will be not a single energy from that Misty. Micers will have the energy advantage this turn by going second. And we're going to have to see how this goes. A Roth does get played. That first energy gets attached to that Articuno, but Micus is already powering up his Mewtwo EX on the bench. That Sabrina will pull up Froakie, but it's probably not going to be enough here. Hopefully we have some type of X speed, but maybe we don't even need it this turn potentially. There's still no Kirlia on the side of Micers, no Gardevoir to be seen, and we'll have to see how this game ends up playing out. A research does come down that's going to allow us to dig deeper into our deck here. A Pokeball could mean another basic and a thinner deck, but we'll have to see how it goes. Another Pokeball does get him that Froakie and that Articuno, but he plays the Froakie. 40 damage into the Jinx now. A second Mewtwo does appear on Miker's side, but where is that Kirlia when he needs it? Miker's can be doing as much as 150 damage next turn, but without a Kirlia already in play, he would not be able to follow up that next turn with similar damage. $30 from that Frogdeer will put this Jinx on a timer here. And we're going to, I think, see a retreat back to the Mewtwo. He won't be able to do 150 this turn because of that energy attach. And we are going to see Psychic Sphere into that Frogdeer. It does seem like we're going to be, set up to do damage this turn if we can find that Greninja. It can be followed up potentially by that Articuno on the bench. But there's no energy there on that Articuno because of the retreat. And so we are going to need to get set up for the next part. That 60 damage is going to come down now, and that's going to be enough to set him up for a KO. Kirlia finally appears for the Mewtwo, and we'll have to see how it plays out. Does he have the energies? That's the question here. That's going to be 0.1 for Micers now. He is going to need basically 3 energies, but he's got 2 turns to find a Misty. Potentially, though, this baby Articuno could do something, and we could even hide it back into that Froakie. The other Mewtwo EX does get promoted with this Sabrina. He's going to need 2 energies if he wants to retreat. He can only do 50 this turn maximum. Gardevoir finally does come into play, and we'll have to see how it goes. That's going to be that 50 damage we just mentioned, guys. We are going to potentially see something here. We'll have to see how it plays out. Bombman is at 0 points, though, and now both Mons are at a range where it can be doing 150 as early as next turn. I think we have to miss the baby Articuno, but it goes onto the big Articuno. Interesting. We're going to have to see how this goes. One energy wouldn't have been enough. We could have retreated back to the other Froakie. I'm a little confused, but it does happen. And we'll have to see where it goes from there. We're switching in the baby Articuno. I'm a little confused how this is supposed to work out. That's going to be 150 into that Articuno. He'll be able to do it again next turn. And this might be the end of our top 4. Wait, let me double check that. 1 second. Yeah, it might be the end of our top 4. That's going to be a Frogadier on the bench. It's going to be doing 80 damage here, but it's not going to be enough to take those 3 points that Abominant needs. It's going to be 80 damage into that Mewtwo. Just not enough. We're going to see that 150 return KO that'll be sealing this game. Okay. Okay. We'll flip back to that meta breakdown real quick, guys. It should be Charizard versus Mewtwo here. And we'll have to see how it works out. I think this is Charizard versus Mewtwo. So open in full screen. It's gonna be Charizard versus Mewtwo. I guess it doesn't show the Pokemon. Wait, Vinnie. Oh, I'm in the wrong screen right now. It is going to be that Charizard versus Mewtwo. Charizard versus Mewtwo. Let's see. Give me 1 second, guys. We're gonna go on and try to set up this match. Give me 1 second. Let's see. They're gonna get started, guys. One second. Okay, let me get it set up. Give them 1 second, and then we can get into hopefully our game. Okay, guys, while we let them get set up, I do want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor and everyone here. Guys, thank you so much for watching the stream today, for hanging out with us. We are really excited to have such a diverse top 4, and now having a Charizard in our finals here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. I do want to give a huge shout out to all of our judges while these guys get set up. I do want to give a huge shout out to all the players playing the tournament, and I want to give a huge shout out to my sponsor, XP Collect. They're a card shop that sponsors a number of different tournaments and does rip and ships on different platforms, including Instagram and TikTok. You can also order pre-ordered products from Pokemon or different card games through their website. They have a lot of different products. They've never had to cancel. They haven't had to cancel any pre-orders in over 8 years. So they're definitely someone you can trust to put your pre-orders in through. So I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, because they do allow us to have this 400 USD prize pool every single week that we otherwise would not be able to do. So huge thank you to XP Collect for supporting our community in the way that they do. But also a huge shout out to obviously all the players, all the judges, everyone who hangs out and watches, so that obviously, the community is growing and becoming what it is because of you guys. And we already have another tournament next week for that 400 USD. If you do !tournament, you can go on and sign up for next week's tournament. We may be increasing the cap, but we're already at 600 signups, so you need to get your spot now if you're going to sign up. Go on and get your spot in the tournament if you want a chance to play in next week's games, guys. We would love to have each and every one of you be able to participate next week. We can only do that if you sign up, and you know, hopefully one of you guys can be in the finals next week. And we'll see how it goes. Yeah. 1 second, guys. I am waiting for them to get going, so just give them a moment. Honestly, we kind of are. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. But give us 1 second. So, and we should be able to get going. Fingers crossed. They should be starting any second here. There was 1 moment so we can get started, but again, huge shout out to all our sponsors. Shout out to everyone watching, and thank you guys for so much for hanging out with us. I really, really do appreciate it. So let's see. Well, Arxard, but yeah. So let's see here. Hopefully it'll be starting fairly shortly here. Just give them 1 moment to get set up. Yeah. Yeah, sadly, once you have once you have the Gardevoir already set up, Articuno and Starmie cannot really survive if they don't already have pressure out on that Mewtwo. I definitely agree. It's definitely a bit of an issue when it comes to that matchup. Sorry. Give us 1 second to get into this game. Started. Okay, it does look like they are going to be getting to that game now, and then we can hopefully have some fun matches. Okay, let's go into that match now, guys. It is the finals. It is Mewtwo versus Charizard. And I'm so excited to see how this plays out here, guys. It's going to be so interesting to see how these two decks fare in the finals. Mewtwo did win last week, but Charizard has never even made it to the finals in this tournament. So let's see how it goes. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller real quick. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I play a very similar list. Okay, guys, Micros is starting with that Jinx in the active. Honestly, that Mewtwo is going to want to put pressure out onto that Moltres here so that this Charmander does not have a chance of setting up. A Sabrina does immediately get played, however, which I once again do want to point out. This is honestly the power, not the power, because for some reason... Okay, never mind. Oftentimes could be the power of the red card, but Micros is actually not running red card, so I'm not sure why he went on and played that Charmander onto his bench. Honestly, he probably was supposed to hold it in his hand, or Manu was supposed to hold it in his hand, so that he could not be Sabrina'd around that Moltres during that turn 1. That being said here, we do end up getting an X speed and we can retreat back from our Charmander to that Moltres, but that's still a little bit almost of a waste of a resource such as that X speed. The energy gets attached to that Moltres in the end though, and we will have an Infernal Dance that is hopefully going to be attaching energy back onto the bench. We have one energy to attach on that bench. No second coin flip for that those Pokemon, and that energy is going to go on and attach to that Charmander here. This is the grand finals. We have that energy attached to the Jinx and a Kirlia appear on the bench, but there's still no Mewtwo EX for Mikers. Definitely think start having that out, but maybe so. Maybe so. Maybe he was that big brains. Could happen. We're going to go on and do that Internal Dance again. This time, 3 energies come down. That's going to put it to... Oh, it looks like we're doing 2 energies to that Arcanine and 1 to that Charmander. That means he's going to be able to attack this next turn alone. Arcanine is officially online, and we still haven't seen a single Charmeleon yet on Manu's side. That being said, Miker needs to find his Mewtwo this turn, or... He needs to find it this turn if he wants any chance. That Gardevoir is finally online, but his main attacker is nowhere to be seen. Sabrina can be somewhat valuable in this because Charizard's able to one-hit KO the Mewtwo. So often, even while he knocks out that Moltres EX, if you have something on the bench, you are able to Sabrina around that Charizard and knock out on the bench Pokemon that otherwise he would have to 2-hit KO that Charizard. He does, however, put up that Charmander with this second Sabrina now, and we are going to be officially at 1 point for Mikers here. Going to be officially 1 point for Mikers. That was the second Sabrina, and we could see a KO onto this Jinx, giving Manu his first point. We are going to go on and see that 120 damage into Jinx. That is Manu's first point here, but it's a bad spot to be in for Mikers. Bad spot to be in for Mikers. He's going to need to find that Mewtwo and a way to retreat back, but instead that's going to be game 1, and they're going to be going into game 2 right afterwards. Letting them go on and get their next match set up, guys. We're going to go on and hop into that next game, and we'll see how it goes. They're paired up, and they're going into game 2 of our grand finals. Okay. We're going first as Manu now. That means Moltres is going to have some extra time, an extra turn before he can start powering up those Pokemon on the bench. But Manu's going to want to find some of those other basics. He's going to want to try to find his Charmander, his Growluffs, and Miker seems to have a similar start as last game. He too is going to want to start finding that Mewtwo EX that he was not able to find last turn. Our research is going to come down, allowing him to dig a little bit deeper into his deck. With no red card, Manu can hoard cards into his hand and have no worries of it being disrupted. Charmander will get played now. The main question is going to be if Manu can find that Charmeleon in time. Charmeleon does come into play though. We're going to see Infernal Dance as soon as this turn. And this could be leading to a win for Charizard. That Charmeleon officially played, Charmander evolves into that teenager Pokemon, and we'll be seeing hopefully that energy attach on to Moltres. Okay, oh, 2 energies back onto that Charmeleon now. Micros is definitely going to be wanting to find a Sabrina, but even then, that's only 70 damage that he can do to Charmeleon. That is going to be a Kirlia for Mike now. And that's going to be 50 damage into the Moltres. Not enough. Another Pokeball comes down. Where is the Mewtwo in Micro's deck? A second Moltres to protect against a Sabrina, I guess, here. Will we see a Charizard? And a Charizard comes into play, evolution in hand. We're going to need some more energy, but this could be the end for the Mewtwo player in sight. Another Inferno Dance down. He wants 2 energies, essentially. At least 1 more. 2 energies onto that Charizard now. Now a hand attach will be all he needs, and we can retreat back and knock out. It is already 1-0 for Manu, and this is going to be a game 2 for the Zard player. Or we can attach over there. That's going to be a game 2, it looks like. Assuming we have a retreat back. But we do see that energy attached to Kirlia now and another 50 damage into that Moltres. We're going to need to see our hand attach. That red... You're going to red card here. We'll red card here. Potentially protect versus a Gardevoir, but it's honestly a little bit too late at this point. With X speed, we're going to go on and have 5 energies on our Charizard, and it won't matter what Micros tries to do. We'll knock out anyone he puts forward. Don't try to touch the Charizard, buddy. It's going nowhere. Manu does take his point 1, but what will Micros do? A second Ralt comes into play, and this Pokeball is going to be a 100% Mewtwo EX. Mewtwo EX is on the bench finally. He does show up this finals. Surprise, surprise. A Sabrina will come down and will be able to promote that Moltres that already has an energy attached to it. That means we will not have to, we will be able just to go on and retreat this turn because of that attachment earlier in the game. This retreat from the Kirlia, what the other Ralts, that's going to help protect what he's wanting to turn into a Gardevoir here. But with looks like 0 cards in hand, Micro's going to have to top deck a Gardevoir, and even that might be too late. Even that might be too late. That X speed comes down. We're going to see a retreat back to our Charizard. $60 damage into that Ralts means the energies on the Charizard are completely safe. Completely safe. And that's going to be a concede. That's going to end our 2-day tournament. Pokemon, Ursiiday's Pokemon Pocket Weekly, number 5. Winner is going to be Mr. Manu04 with that Arcanine Charizard deck. What a masterful showcase of how well that deck does. Absolutely crazy to see. Love seeing these different games play out here and seeing how they end up going. 1 second. 1 second, guys. One moment. That is going to be a game 2 here for that. Ooh, this is not the... Okay, 1 second. Didn't realize what channel I was clicking on. But guys, I want to give a huge shout out to everyone here. That game was absolutely masterful. It was great to see Manu do so well with that Arczard. Arczard only appeared this time last week when Hyoto got 5th place last week with that deck. But now it has taken 1st place as easy as that. Absolutely crazy to see though, and I love watching it happen. We'll have to see how it continues to go as it plays out here. So 1 second, 1 second. I do want to give a huge shout out to Manu for doing such a great job in the tournament this week. Manu, thanks for the raid, but I was about to raid you, buddy. Buddy, I was about to raid you. Oh my gosh. That's okay. I was about to raid you, bud. That being said, I want to give a huge shout out to Manu. Congratulations, buddy, for such a fantastic win. Absolutely masterful take on that deck, and it was great to see you swoop through and take the win for this fantastic deck. I love seeing how this game plays out, and I do want to say once again, congratulations to Manu for that 1st place. Huge congrats to Mikers as well for 2nd place, and congratulations to everyone who made it to our top 32 today. I want to give a huge shout out to our players who played today, but also the people who played yesterday. This community is continuing to grow bigger and bigger every single day, and I absolutely love to watch it. It's so cool to see these players do so well, and I'm so glad that they are able to absolutely kick some butt and that we can showcase their different skills in these different decks. That being said, guys, I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor who lets us have such a large prize pool every single week. Huge shout out to XP Collect for helping out with this tournament. They give me basically free reign with the tournament, and I'm so appreciative to them for all that support. And thank you to John and XP Collect. Thank you to everyone who played in this tournament. Honestly, we're growing such an awesome community, and I absolutely love seeing this competitive community grow every single day. If you do want to play in next week's tournament, we already have that tournament. Live right now. You can go on and sign up for the tournament next week immediately and get your spot. We'll probably be increasing it, the cap. We had a fantastic turnout. It was so great to see everyone and great to see everyone play their games. That being said, thank you guys so much. I also want to give a huge shout out to our judges who help out every single week. A lot of them don't even play in the tournament, and they just spend the 9 hours and 3 hours on Sunday helping everyone out and being willing to put in those hours. There's a large number of them who really do help with even help with other tournaments as well. So it is such a great community to be a part of. I also want to do a huge shout out to the mod team as well on Twitch and YouTube that help out. Again, huge shout out to our sponsors. And that being said, thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with us today. Since Amano has ended, I am going to raid one of our top 32 players. He's playing in a different tournament today. So if you enjoyed today's stream, I stream every single day of the week, basically 7 days a week. I stream Pokemon Pocket every single day. We have a lot of fun games. During the weekdays, I play in a lot of different tournaments, and we can have a lot of fun. If you guys want to join me, I'm Ursi. Make sure that you follow the channel if you're on Twitch, and subscribe on YouTube. We also will have a Twitch subscriber hangout tonight, as well as a YouTube member hangout at 7:30 p.m. EST if you'd like to join us. We're going to be doing a really fun game of Among Us. So we'd love to have any of you that want to join us. Make sure to follow me on the different socials as well. We have a really awesome, I post every single day basically on Twitter. I'm trying to do better about Instagram and YouTube as well. We're going to be having a video come out later tonight with that. And also, guys, make sure that you join the Discord. We have a really awesome and active community that we'd love for you to all be a part of. So make sure that you join there. I always post there when I'm going live. And I'm going to see you guys again tomorrow. Bye-bye!